Hi, this is Debbie with Cheyenne Life, and welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. But I just wanted to get on here real quick and show some of my harvest today, and I think we are in the swing of some squash. This is zucchini, which is also a squash, or courgette if you are in the UK. And this is just from the last couple of days. 8 zucchini, pretty uniform in size. I like mine to get a little bit larger because they're still tender and can be used. I usually slice them up and fry them, or I might grate them up and make a casserole, or just anything. You can make pickles out of these, all sorts of things. Zucchini bread, I know a lot of people like zucchini bread. I'm not a fan of zucchini bread. I like traditional banana nut bread, which I do make, and I'll show you some of that in just a moment. But I also made a big gallon size jug of lemonade, fresh homemade lemonade, and I do make it Southern style. So it is a little bit sweeter, but it still has some tartness to it. And we just picked up a pasta maker the other day at Ross, and we're going to see how this thing goes. It looks like it's pretty standard as far as pasta makers go. And I'll make some pasta, and as you can see, this is my kitchen. A little bit messy right now because just got back in from gardening, but it is quite a large, nice kitchen. Got lots of cabinets and things like that. This is in the old Victorian house that I was talking about. We do have a huge pot rack. Love the pot rack because that keeps pots out of the shelves and everything. But we still end up with so many things on the countertop. As you can see, I've got a fruit basket, which I love this fruit basket. It is a double layer fruit basket. And I think I picked that up from Sam's Club maybe. But I just love it because it's steel and has wood in the bottom. Very nice. And then this is the sugar that I use to make the lemonade. Baker's sugar, because it dissolves so well even though the water is already cold. And I was working on cleaning up the kitchen a little bit after making the lemonade. As you can see, this is our big kitchen. Got a little bit of stuff on the table because grandson, and he is watching television right now, watching one of his little programs. Yep, and there's a whole area over here I need to clean out because this is where the cereal ends up, and juice boxes and drink boxes and all the little things for the toddler, because all of the cabinets, yep, they are already full. So it is a battle trying to keep everything up when you have a toddler in the house. And I wanted to go ahead, this is our meat slicer, but it also is a bread slicer. We use it for bread slicing more than we do meat. Because it just has to be cleaned every time that you do meat. It's kind of annoying. So that is our quote-unquote bread slicer. We had visited Switzerland last year in June, and we noticed that every single house has a meat slicer slash bread slicer, and we thought that was just such a neat idea. That is our favorite sourdough, by the way. We get this at King Soopers. I don't make sourdough because I haven't gotten a starter yet. Eventually, maybe I will, but this is the best sourdough we have ever found. It is very tart. I like that. And this is my banana bread that I do make. So I do make some breads in the home. I also make white slicing bread and wheat bread, but I just put it in a Ziploc bag, and this had actually been in the freezer for a couple of months, and I just pulled it out and thawed it, and it is just as good as it was the day that it was baked. So, delicious banana nut bread. I will share the recipe with everyone because it is such a simple recipe and such simple ingredients that anyone can make this banana bread. And I always double the recipe because I like my loaves to be nice and big, as you can see. And then I always add like sliced almonds and walnuts or crushed pecans or maybe a combination of everything on the top of it. And then I also put a mixture of honey and butter on the top when it's done baking. Well, it's still hot and it melts on down over top of the bread. It's just, oh, phenomenal. Anyway, that is our kitchen here in the old Victorian house. And I will take you into my growing room that I was talking about on one of the videos. And this is where we put our pots in the wintertime. I grow basil, all sorts of little herbs and things all throughout the season here in my little pot station. It's just a rack that we picked up. I think this rack came from a company. My partner gets all of these racks and uses them in his lab down in the basement area as well. The lab is for, he makes computer chips. So this is all of the aloes. I got these as a gift. There was like 3 of them and they had all sorts of little babies in the thing, and I separated them and put them out here, and they are already now having babies of their own, which we will need to separate and put in some more pots. As you can see, there's a baby and there's another one. I just noticed that one. Hadn't seen that one before. And then I pick up a lot of clearance plants that are maybe distressed at Lowe's and Walmart, and then I bring them back to life and we start putting them in separate pots and growing them. As you can see, I've got a large aloe down there. And we do use our aloe. I do take the cuttings off of them and process the aloe inside. And pardon the dining room table, but this is our large dining room. And I also pick up a lot of items off of Craigslist or other thrift places, sometimes Goodwill, because we like to reuse, and we will fix them up and use them in the house. This dining room table came from Craigslist, and originally the price of the dining room table, which was still listed online at the time, was over $3,000, and we picked it up for $700. And then the oak cabinet over here that we have a lot of our just pretty drinking glasses and stuff in, we got that on Craigslist as well for $35. And it is so heavy. And I very much appreciate the people that sold it to us, because it is such a nice cabinet. It looks brand new. There was not a nick on it when we got this cabinet. Of course, now with a toddler, we're getting some edges on it that are getting a little nicked and scratched here and there, but that happens. And then this is where I dry my herbs. I have rosemary right now that I'm drying, and we'll be putting into some Ziploc bags, and I just store all of my herbs in Ziploc bags. And the Ziploc bags get reused. I've reused these for 5 years in total. So definitely reduce, reuse. And then that's where I keep all of my extra seeds. See, as you can make out, I don't buy very many seeds. I have way more seeds that I have saved from year to year. And there's probably 20, 30 bags in there of seeds that I have saved. And then a friend of mine and my partner brought me some Spanish moss from Georgia, just because I just wanted to see it. I had never seen Spanish moss. Even though I lived in Tennessee, we didn't have a whole lot of Spanish moss on the trees. I wanted to see what it looked like. And then this is my other aloe. This one is struggling a little. I'm not sure why. I've actually put it in a window where it is not facing direct light, which seemed to have helped a lot. The center section is extremely healthy, but the outer edges just seem to be struggling a little bit, and I'm not real sure why. So I'll keep working with it and see if I can fix it. And then I got these bamboo that were distressed. Still a little bit distressed, but they are pulling out of it. As you can see, plenty of healthy growth on the top. And then, of course, that's our foyer over there where we keep extra items, birdseed, stuff like that in there. And then I keep some of my canning supplies up here just for quick reference and extra things that we need. Yep, every room of the house is used, even though it is a large house. And that is my pressure canner and pressure cooker with my extra jars that I had picked up at the Goodwill. I always go to the Goodwill and check for jars because people get them as wedding gifts sometimes and then they just don't use them. Anyway, thank you for subscribing to my channel if you're subscribed. If not, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and like.